Okay.
Yeah, Morgan, I see you. Game on.
Wait.
I guess.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it.
So I guess the question is, how do we play?
That's a little racist.
Pick a card and save Morgan.
What do you mean, save Morgan?
Welcome back to the How Do You Feel Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror movie franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Tawan.
I'm Maria.
and today we're reviewing Blackening, released in 2023. Directed by Tim Story and written by Tracy Oliver and Dwayne Perkins. Maria, can you give the people the plot summary?
7 friends go away for the weekend, only to find themselves trapped in a cabin with a killer who has a vendetta. They must pit their street smarts and knowledge of horror movies against the murderer to stay alive.
I wasn't quite sure what this movie was gonna be. Because horror movies they've been teetering between being, kind of like the Jordan Peele style horror movies, what we've been getting recently with like the mostly black cast, where it's funny but it's still terrifying. So I wasn't quite sure what this was gonna be, but I was happily surprised. Like, it was campy, but it wasn't like scary movie level campy. But it was still good. It had like some good moments there, and I don't know. I feel like for black audiences, like the references were hidden. I don't know about you, Tuan, but like I got most, if not all, the references they were talking about. Like from talking
Yeah,
about the Aunt
everything was hidden.
Vivs to
I got that one right. My parents didn't. I want to note that.
the Aunt Vivs.
Yeah,
What? Your parents should have got it right. That
I
was
got it
their
right.
that was their era. I can't. But like, there are so many like references. I'm just like, okay, this makes sense. And like, I was watching it with someone, and they were Hispanic, and he was like, "Why aren't they going and investigate the sounds?" I'm like, "Cause we don't do that. Like, that's not what we do. Like, you hear some shit, you block the other way. Like, whatever over there gonna be over there, and I'm doing me. I'm going back where the fuck I came from. We don't investigate sounds. That's how
Hmm.
you die. Like, what the fuck? That's no." But like, it was an enjoyable movie for me. But what about you, Maria?
It's okay. It reminded me so much of Scary Movie, I guess. Like, not just like the first one, but like all like the whole franchise. Like the way the jokes were portrayed. And honestly, I knew it was fucking Clifton. His fucking name was like
Yeah,
I knew it was him. I knew it had something to do with him, and I mean, it was a funny movie. Like I laughed throughout it, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't really enjoy it as much. You know?
I knew it
Okay,
was Clifton
yeah, that's like my main
for a
gripe.
stupid reason.
Yeah, that was like my main gripe. I'm just like, were we supposed to be surprised that it was Clifton? Because like it was pretty obvious it was
I
Clifton.
only knew it was him because he had an Android. Apple don't let villains use iPhones.
Yes, I noticed that.
I like the movie a lot actually. When even before it had came out, when I found because I had seen the original skit for it like years ago that they like spun this off of, and when I found out that the movie was gonna be based around it, I was like excited for it because I was wondering like how they were gonna turn it into like a full movie and what they were gonna do with it because we had movies skits turned into movies before like SNL does that used to do that like all the time, so I didn't think it would be like the worst idea in the world, so I was kind of excited to see what it eventually turned into, and also don't mind the director like Tim Story, like he's done like a lot of like black movies that have been like classics, like Barbershop and stuff. So I thought that was like a pretty good choice of like director, and like the cast like seemed pretty good. And once we got the first trailer, I liked it as well. So I was pretty like excited for it. And once I eventually got to watch it, I went to see it with my parents, and like I liked it, and also my parents liked it. The jokes were like the jokes were like hitting really good. It's definitely one of those where it's definitely made a little bit more for us, like black people, than most others. But the movie itself can be enjoyed by a lot of other different type of people. And I think my favorite thing with this movie is watching people's reactions to it on YouTube, especially if they're like they don't know like all the references and stuff. Like that's like interesting to just see like how other people who aren't aware like take it in. So that's like pretty funny. But I think my favorite part overall with this movie is the cast. Like I thought the cast was pretty good. Everybody was like very funny, and some of them I hadn't seen in things before, so this was like a good introduction to some of them. And it was even funnier seeing that dude who used to be on Vine in here. I was like, oh, he's actually funny. I thought, I thought he ain't like
No, he was the guy from Vine.
yeah,
I wasn't
the light
100%
skinned
sure.
dude.
Yes, I was like I wasn't 100% sure, but
Yeah,
like
that was
okay.
him. Yeah, he didn't go the ways of whatever that other boy name is. I
Mm-hmm.
forget. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but I
Yes, I
forget his
do.
name.
I do.
But yeah. Besides all that, like I thought it was good. I like how they extended the actual like game that they played, and yeah, I think that was like pretty much it. I think probably the only thing I didn't like everyone else was the reveal of Clifton, because it was kind of like to be expected once we got to a certain point that it was either that was most likely going to be him. They definitely tried to make it for a second seem like it was going to be like the cop, which would have been like that would have bored the fuck out of me.
But see, like that, I knew it had to be one of them. I knew it was none of the white people, and like the more the game went on, and it was just like prove your blackness. I was like, oh, it has to be Clifton because he's the one that stands out. Like,
Mm,
he's the one who would have to prove his blackness. But now being too black, once it got to like, oh, whoever's the blackest is the one we need to sacrifice. I was like, oh, it's Clifton. Clifton's the killer because there's no way like he'd be the one who's actually would like lose in this situation. And
mm.
like I got it. Like and to be okay, we're gonna move on to well, no, because the whole setup of the movie is like he's pissed off because how he was treated by them because he reneged in a spades game. And it's like, sir, that's like their number one no no. You I don't care what generation you are, I don't care how old, how young you are. If you are black, you need to know how to play spades. And if you don't know how to play spades, then don't get close to the spades table. Don't be trying to learn on the spot. That's not how this works. You can't learn on the spot. You would get cursed out, beat up, and shunned like Clifton. Because to this day, I know how to play spades. I'm decent, but I still get a little nervous at every family function when they be like, "Oh, we getting partners." Like, I'm gonna go make the liquor run. I'll be back. We need some more butter. Y'all go ahead and partner up because y'all not gonna get me on the spades table, especially when they start playing for money. Like, no, like y'all families will go to war over spades. So
Yeah.
I like that was like
No, when it was because of that, that made it so much more funnier than anything. I was like, nah, he got mad over spades. Because motherfuckers do get mad over spades. You be thinking they about to shoot up the
yes.
place.
I have seen like I have watched my grandmother fight with cousins, uncles, aunties, all over the spades game, and on the outside looking in, it's fucking it's stupid. But when you're at the table yourself, you get it. It's like, oh no, what the fuck is this? Because I've been in a situation where I'm at the table and what's going good, and then your partner does that one stupid thing, and you lose everything, and I'm ready to just fight. Like, bro, you really did that? You really made this move? But like as the movie went on, it was just like, oh, Clifton is the odd person out. But then it's like, I, I kind of wanted to like know like how they all got together and how Clifton like fit in. Like, what was the origin story of the group? Like, I kind of wanted to know how all that was. Cause yeah,
I
they were college friends, right? But like, how
yeah, I
did they
feel
all
like
find each other?
I don't know why I feel like they had so one of them mentioned I might be wrong. I don't know, but I feel like one of them mentioned they had a like fuck like the Black Student Alliance or something at their school. I think that's how it started.
The Black Student Union,
Yeah, I think
BSU.
I think that's how it was mentioned in the
But I
movie.
can't see Clifton joining the BSU.
Hey, who knows? We can't. That's how. See, that's how he got fucked up in the first place. We ruled him out.
Okay,
We can't.
I mean, true. But Maria, were there any scenes that stood out for you, good, bad, or indifferent?
Um, Let me think about it, cause
Maria
um,
secretly hated the whole movie.
it's not that. It's just like okay. Well, let me just um. I don't even. I guess it's when that one girl had like Adderall and it was like starting to hit her, and she was doing all these things. That scene was funny. And then, cause she was, I mean, she was high, but she was getting it. She was definitely killing. I feel like out of all of, I mean, okay, like they all were able to fight like those those white people, but like I feel like she got a good amount of them, and she was injured. You
She
know,
did it actually.
like, and then there was who else? Um, oh, when one of the mask guys was trying to get in through like the door, and and dude, I do not remember their names, but the girl with the dress, the one who swam, she started like stabbing him,
Yeah,
and she like got him in the foot. Like that was really smart,
that
you
was
know,
smart actually.
like that
That
was
was a
really
Shanika.
yeah, like that was really good on her part, cause like yeah, you stab like he like it's not gonna close because his fucking foot is there, so you gotta get him where it fucking hurts.
True.
Um, I thought that was a good scene. I guess also the whole blackness, who's the blackest, like the first scene when that happens. And
Oh, when she tells him, she tells Namdi, like you're from Africa, like your original recipe black. I
yeah,
die.
Nah, that was funny.
but I think that's it actually
Well, yeah,
for
like
me.
that scene for me was hilarious. I was like, well, she got a point. Like, if you're going back based off the like who's the blackest, like baby, you're from the island. I'm so sorry. You're from that continent. Get his ass. but also the scene. The scene about Friends, like name the black people in Friends, and they were like, "Oh, I ain't never seen it, but she was on here, and I ain't never seen it, but I think so and so." And then it comes back, "Oh, I've never seen Friends. I prefer in living color." I was like,
That's
"No."
so real though, because that's actually me. Because I don't like Friends.
I like Friends.
I don't. See, you would have got us messed up.
I would have, because I would have got us messed up anyway. Because the only black person I know was on there was Anisha Tyler. I don't know nobody else. They was naming folks, and I was like, "What? They was on Friends?" I'm like, I know Anisha Tyler was fucking Ross, but who the fuck when they was on here? Like, you would have told me the name Jennifer Aniston's sisters. I could have gave you both of them bitches, but like, I don't know nobody else. And then the scene, I forgot, was it Namdi who was shot in the arm twice, or somebody
Nah, that was
else?
the light skinned dude.
Yeah, because he was shot in the arm twice, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, you can't run." And he was like, "I was shot in the arm in the same spot. Like, I can't fucking run." And I was like, "Yes, you can run because in horror movies you can get shot one spot one time, like the fucking shoulder or something." And for some reason, they legs stop working, and they just on the fucking floor rolling around. I'm like, if you don't get the fuck up, he didn't shoot your leg. He shot your fucking shoulder. So I was like, I was glad that he was still like walking. And then the light skinned one, was he also the gay one? Or
No, that was Dwayne.
okay, yeah, Dwayne. When Dwayne was freaking out, and the old girl was like, okay, close your eyes, open your mouth, and then she just like put Molly in his mouth. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck?
That
I
was
was like,
funny.
wait, I need a friend like that, please. Like, so those were like some good scenes, and then the best scene, the scene that really got me was the ending scene when they were all just like, yeah, the white people are dead. We gotta call the cops, and they started laughing, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta call the cops, and we killed a bunch of white people. Like, like I got it. They were fucking afraid. So, but what about you, Twan? What are some scenes that stood out for you?
One scene that I definitely remember liking was I believe was it Allison or Lisa? I think it was Allison, and she it was when she like got the arrow out of the one dude, and then like I think they moved back, and she stabbed herself with the arrow accident. I was like, girl, how the fuck did you even just do that? That part was funny. Um, Another scene was the beginning part with Yvonne Orji's character and Jay Farrell, and they had to put that line in there about um Jada and Omar Epps from Scream 2 and how they could have kept them for the whole movie because they cost too much. And then it's basically the same thing about their asses. I thought that was funny, like how they like how that whole little part went. Um, the whole like game element in general, I did like, just because it was like one of those fun audience moments where you could hear people like giving their answers to it. So I just thought that was pretty cool to see, and also some of the questions that were asked and seeing which ones would get me eliminated if I was like playing along. Uh, Outside of those, any scene where they did like the little, which a lot of people like, which watching other people watch this, they didn't like understand it, but like they made it seem like a telepathy type of thing in the movie, when like when we were like when they were looking at each other and like just knew what each other were saying. It's like just like one of those things, and I like how they use that in the movie because like black people, my other black people just got that automatically, like. But when I was watching um, people like react to this movie, they were like, "Are they like psychic or something?" So it was just funny to see. But those scenes were like very hilarious because we do that a lot.
Yeah, I watched the reactions too, and people were just like, what's happening? I'm like, no, we not. It's not telepathy. It's the looks we give each other. That's like, it's basically like be fucking for real. Like it's just the look, and it's hard to explain what each look is. It's just like we just know what the look is, like what it means. But it's hard to explain. It's hard to put in words.
Yeah, for real.
But like, because it's there, I think it's stuff like that when for like the black audience when we can connect to those little like small moments. Because I was watching one reactor and he was white and they were making like the set it off reference and he was like, "What the fuck is set it off?" And I was like, "Oh, like don't do Queen Latifah then because that movie was fucking sad at the end." But Maria,
No.
were there any kills that stood out for you? I know there weren't a lot of kills, but the ones that were there, anything good, anything bad, anything indifferent? Maria.
Um, Let me think. I literally just watched this movie and I do not remember it. Um, who died? Clifton? His well, I think the only kill was really like Morgan's, cause she was like up those stairs trying to get out, and they're like watching her about to die, screaming at the TV like he's right behind you. And then they're like screaming it telephone style, telling her he's right behind you. And I just cannot imagine. I'm already scared. I hear him behind me. I see him behind me, and all I hear is people being like, "He's right behind you." And it's like, okay, I get it, but what am I gonna do? I can't get out of the fucking like nobody's opening the door. Like I don't, but that scene was funny, and I guess that death was funny. Well, it wasn't funny, but you know what I mean. The whole circumstance around it was funny, and then um who else? Um, Man, I don't even remember what the white people. I guess those are the other ones I really remember. I don't actually. I don't remember how they died. I just remember them being dead.
TBH, I also don't remember how they died.
Yeah, right. Like I don't. It's
I
not
remember
coming
the
to
only
me.
thing I remember was Lisa went crazy on one of them.
Yeah,
She
and
did. Yeah.
I remember they watched a cop get killed because they didn't trust
Yeah,
that he wasn't one of the killers. But I don't remember how
which is
they
fair.
died. Hmm.
Yeah, right. Like I don't. I just remember them being on the floor, and they were like, "Oh my God, they're twins."
Yeah. Hmm. What about you, Tuan?
I mean, outside of the like those guys, the other like funniest one was the cop one because it's like obvious like red herring, but also at the same time, even though it's a red herring, it could still be true for what we're going with right now. So like, even I would be like, I don't know about all this because you just came at a real specific time right now. And then when he did die, I was like, oh, well, you can never be too safe.
For me, I don't really remember. I don't even remember how Clifton died. Because to be honest, like this is a horror movie, but it was more like a bunch of jump scares and like little comedy bits. The kills weren't really there, but they were also played up for like comedic timing. But let's talk about the group of friends as a whole, because I feel like talking about them individually doesn't really do much because we didn't really get to see each one individually. We all only saw them as like a whole unit, and I thought like that was like a decent group of friends. You know, like I feel like
Yeah.
they all had like a good representation. They all had like their own opinions or personality. Like I could see how they'd be friends and how like that group would like hold strong.
Hmm.
But that also just made it more obvious that Clifton was the killer because he was the odd person out. Like I couldn't see any other person in that friend group harming any of them. It didn't seem plausible. I'm like they all seemed too close, too like well like connected to be doing this like weird evil black mambo shit to one another. But Clifton doesn't fit in So obviously it's fucking Clifton. I think that's where they like fucked up. What do you guys think?
I mean, I see it. I see what I definitely see where you're coming from with it. Like I don't like he doesn't seem like like Clifton didn't seem like he like fit in like that much like just compared to the rest of them. But I don't think I could not see him like not being friends with them or them being like at least cordial with him, especially since they were all covered from like college and they hadn't linked up in a while. Like I could see them just inviting whoever used to chip like be there, especially if they I don't even they weren't the ones who initially even planned it. It was the Yvonne Orji's character and the other guy at the beginning, like they were the ones who like planned it apparently. But even then, like he didn't fit in like all the way. But I don't know if they would just exclude him out like that. But but also none of them remember him either, which is just hilarious because that type of shit does happen. That like a lot and you like trying to figure out like who all go be there as Dwayne said in the car. And we don't mess with certain people, we just don't. But I don't but he Clifton wasn't even that memorable for them to even remember not fucking with him or what he did in the past. So it was just like that long
They
ago.
didn't remember him to even like remember to invite him. And then when they all saw him, they're like, who you? And for me, that made it stand out that Clifton was the fucking killer.
Yeah.
Because it was given that guy who was bullied in Valentine Day, in Valentine. Remember that movie we did last year? Because like the guy was bullied and then he disappeared and came back and killed everybody. Like it was given that. It was given that. I don't know. It's just. But what about you, Maria? The friend group as a whole.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with what Juan said. I can see why, they were all really good friends. Again, except for Clifton, like especially because like again, like every friend group is really different, right? Like different personalities come together. But yeah, it was the fact that they were all like, "Who are you?" Like, where did you come from? The fact that nobody remembered him, but they all, kind of kept in touch with each other. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like it was very obvious that it was Clifton. I did see that they were trying to sprinkle like red herrings, like around, but like it didn't really work out. I guess it didn't. To me, it didn't really make sense. Because it's like it's obviously going to be the guy that you don't really know. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
especially it's
that
like,
made it obvious.
yeah, and especially because the way he died was also just really like it was. Well, I mean, not died, but the way he, quote unquote died, like it was so like not impactful at all. They just shot him and he fell down, which should have told you something, especially because the other guy who got shot with two arrows, like he didn't go down. You know, he's like he was still out here running. So it's like Clifton got hit once, right? And he's just suddenly dead. Like nobody was like, wait a minute, like you know what I mean?
Yep.
It was just obvious.
But I've been ready to kill them too if they voted me out that room. On some real shit.
Okay, but to be fair though, they did go back for him. Like they were like, yeah, you know what? Let's go get him. I feel bad. Which you know what? Especially like if I wasn't the killer, I would have appreciated it. I would have been like, you know what? Thank you for coming back for me.
I will say like, but Clifton aside from the friend group, I did like this cast of characters though. I feel like everybody like had a moment like a good comedic moment out of everything, and the writing for each of them was pretty good as well. Like most of it felt like pretty natural. Like none of it felt like pandery or anything, which we get sometimes, but it felt like pretty natural to what could be expected, like linking up with a group of your black friends, and I I like that for the most part. So I thought that was all that I think that's what made them like each of the characters like feel pretty good was the writing for them, and the actors they got were pretty good as well, and delivering a lot of that material. I think out of the friend group though, my favorite was Shanika. She was funny as hell to me. Her and Dwayne, they were probably like my favorites out of the group. But everybody was pretty good though here, and um, I know there's like a sequel, like spoken of. I would like to see this group again just because they were pretty good. But um, even if they do like other actors as well, like I feel like they whatever they go with would be pretty good with how they portrayed them in this one.
Yeah, the group definitely had chemistry, and if there is a sequel, like you said, I definitely would want to see this group back. But I would also want to see some of them like get killed off because y'all know I hate a sequel where they bring everyone back just to bring everyone back again. So I don't know that's just me. But let's talk about Clifton and his motives and his whole game. Now, I will say Clifton was pretty smart. He pulled a jigsaw. He put himself. He no he pulled what's that lady's name? The crazy bitch, Amanda. He pulled an Amanda. He crafted a game. He put himself in the game as one of the players. You know, and he got other people to do his dirty work. And I was like, okay, it's giving Saw. It's giving Saw, but with black people. I was kind of digging it. But I was like, he got a little bit too creative with that Black Mambo fucking like board game and with the cards and shit, and then you got the two white twins. I'm like, you got a lot going on. I'm like, what's happening? And then when you find out he did all this elaborate work over a spades game, like Clifton. This was your motive. Your motive is a card game. Like, but what about you, Maria? What are your thoughts on Clifton?
I mean, I agree with. Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it reminded me of Saw. It was just, I don't know. I guess I was just kind
No,
of expecting more. It felt very like,
the only part that reminded me of Saw is like how he made the game and then decided he was going to put himself in the game, like Amanda did in part two. That's it.
well, yeah, that I get. I can see why he did that, but I feel like, after already that whole first conversation that he had with them about him and his blackness, I feel like when it came back around the second time, it kind of lost its impact. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, to find out that he did that over a game of spades, I was like, huh, I guess. Like, yeah, it's kind of like a dumb idea, well, not a dumb idea, but I mean, look, not to judge someone over getting upset over something, but I was just a little like, that's it, like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I
I can
guess,
see I can see how you can say, "Oh, that's it," but some of the conversations and some of the the game talk when you're playing spades, it can get it can get heated.
Hmm.
Like if you were to just listen to people play spades game, Maria, you would think like a fight's about to break out. And sometimes a fight does break out. So like it seems like stupid that his reasoning is because it was something happened to like over the spades games, but like I've seen some shit go down over a spades game, so like I could kind of get it, but like he was holding a grudge for like years. Like, shit, bro, let that shit go.
Well, I mean, right after that night, he just went like straight to jail. Like they did not,
Right?
you know.
That was random, wasn't it? I didn't see that part coming.
Oh yeah, that he like killed somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it was like manslaughter, right?
yeah, it was for manslaughter, and I remember them being like 4 years. Like what? Like that's not bad.
No, for real.
But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like with it coming back like twice, and him already being attacked the first time, I don't know. I feel like it would have been more impactful. And I was just I don't know. I was just expecting more. Like what's up with the crossbows? Like why is he bringing that out? And I think they even like brought it up in the movie. They were like, why? They're like, why are these people shooting at us with crossbows? Like who does that?
And you know what's weird? When I was looking for a plot summary, I kept on seeing people put in plot summary, and weirdly, they're killing people with crossbows. And I was like, what the fuck? Why does that keep being brought up? And then I
Because
watched the
that is
movie, and I was like,
weird.
oh, it was.
It's like,
I didn't
what?
get the crossbow thing
It
either.
was random.
I found myself Googling like crossbows and racism and slavery, and nothing came up. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'm confused. Tuan,
What?
your thoughts on Clifton?
Oh. uh, I mean, I could see like how after all of that, Clifton might have been upset. Now, not upset enough to like go ahead and like try to plan their deaths, but um, he was kind of mentioning how he wasn't like used to like being around like black people, stuff like that. So I could see to someone like, even though they are black but they aren't used to like the culture, if they were there, they would get like upset about the whole situation. But when he was kind of talking about the whole like manslaughter thing and like accidentally killing someone because he was like going home drunk for the party, I was like, nobody told you to go drive. Like that was on you at that point. like everything, like everything after that, like the actual like spades game and you leaving the party and like the Juneteenth party, the older one when y'all were in college, like everything at that point was all on you. Like nobody told you to do that. But in his little twisted mind, he blamed it on them and said it was their fault. So that's where we got where we are. But um, I mean, like I said, I don't give him any um like leeway for wanting to kill them, but it is just funny like how he mentioned he wanted to learn how to play spades, but when he asked, they were like, "You don't know how to play spades," and then nobody taught him. So that was even funnier because I mean I've seen that happen, and not that it would make nobody go like crazy like he did, but I mean, we we do that. So I was like, damn.
It's an unspoken rule that if you don't know how to play spades, you just gotta sit and watch and be quiet. You know, you never actually ask to play to be taught. You never actually say you can't play. You're just expected to just watch and learn quietly and shamefully. And then when you think you're ready, then you step up to the table. But you better be ready.
Yeah, but he, but he, yeah, he kind of he kind of had a little point with that one, but I I didn't agree with like obviously everything else with them though, because just to want to kill them because you know like. They slighted you, but they slighted him in like the slightest way. Like it wasn't like the worst thing ever, but for someone who's already probably teeter on the edge, doesn't really know themselves, that could have just sent them into even more spiral. So that's what we got with them. But it was funny at the end when Dwayne and Namdi were doing like the the like fake telepathy thing, and then Clifton did it too, and he's like, "Yeah, bitch, I could do it too." That was hilarious. Because he was Dwayne's like, "Can you hear us?" He's like, "Yes, I can." I was like, "Oh shit!" I thought that was funny, and
That
also
was.
like I do like that actor that portrayed him. He was funny, and also I liked him in Sorry to Bother You. He was funny in that movie also.
No, I haven't seen the skit that this is based off, and I think I'm probably gonna go look for it after we wrap up because I during the research I found out about the skit and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was a thing. So I'm
Yeah.
excited, and if they do have sequels, I'm definitely down to watch that. But guys, we have come to the end, but like I always say, we're not quite at the end because Tuan has to give the people the behind the scenes info and facts.
Ooh, Tawan got to pull it up. 1 second. All right. So, for our behind the scenes on the Blackening, the movie had a budget of 5 million and brought in a box office of 18.6 million. Some interesting facts: the script was based on Perkins' 2018 short, based off the same idea. Much of the film's dialogue was improvised by the cast. And in November 2023, Variety reported that MRC and Lionsgate were in talks with writers Dwayne Perkins, Tracy Oliver, and producer E. Brian Dobbins to return for a sequel. Oliver had previously expressed to the magazine that he envisioned a franchise akin to Scary Movie esque series versus Knives Out style with a new cast for each mystery. Some critics' reactions: the film currently sits at an 87 on Rotten Tomatoes. Bloody Disgusting rated the film 4 out of 5, writing that while the kills in The Blackening are decent and the killer's choice of weapon, a crossbow, is novel, it's the comedy and the camaraderie between the friends that make the film stand out. IndieWire, Raphael Motomeyer gave the film grade a B, calling it the first great horror parody of the post Get Out era, and writing that every slasher movie needs a good villain, and here the killer wears a black face leather mask. It's on the nose, but this parody has about as much subtext as Scary Movie, and that's part of the fun. There's no toning down blackness or explaining things to white audiences. If you don't know how to play spades or what the Black Anthem is, ask a friend.
And on that note, Maria, Tuan, do we cash or pass the blackening? Maria?
Um, I'd pass. I mean, I know, like they talked about it, but the movie just reminded me a lot of Scary Movie, like the franchise in general. And I love Scary Movie. Like those movies, especially like the first one and the second one are so funny. I watch them all the time. So I felt like I was missing something, to be honest, while I was watching this movie. That's probably just me being really biased, I guess. But like, I don't know. I mean, it was a good movie. Like, don't get me wrong. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. But like, I just would not go back to watching it without being like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Scary Movie right after this because this was just not it. You know?
Well, for me, I'm kind of in the middle because okay, we were a horror podcast, so if I'm cashing the passing based on the horror element, was I afraid? Was I scared? Were there good horror moments? It's gonna be a pass. But if I'm cashing the passing based off the acting and the story and the improv and the movie itself, then it's a cash. So like I'm kind of in the middle. I cash the comedy movie, but I passed the horror movie. So I don't know where to put that. Tuan, cash or pass?
I don't know. I just see it as a horror comedy. Like I don't think any. I don't think you gotta like split them up. I mean, it's probably more comedy horror than anything. But like the story and the base of it is in horror, but everything else is comedy based. So I mean, I'll give it a pass because I mean not pass. I'll give it a cash. Sorry, because I really liked the movie. I thought like the elements that it had of like the little game part were pretty funny. In addition to like the whole cast itself was pretty good. I like the setup and how they were like going out there for like a Juneteenth party. Um, and everything else like in the movie just worked for me. And I would like to see either more of this cast or as the writers mentioned, either like a Knives Out type of thing where they get like a different cast for the next one. So I'd be fine with that as well.
Well, with that, we've come to the end of our Blackening review. But join us next week as we, for the first time, review a vampire horror movie because we haven't done vampires before. So this is our first. We're going to be reviewing 30 Days of Night. I've only seen this movie once, and I've seen it once recently. So yeah, it's gonna be our first vampire horror, and I'm kind of excited because we're also going to be reviewing the second one, which I have never seen. So I'm excited for all of this. Join us next week. Good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out Haddonfield Horror's past reviews from big franchises like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and the Chucky franchise, or one off reviews like Us and Midsommar. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms. If you're listening to us on YouTube, don't forget to please like and subscribe. Haddonfield Horror is produced by Mark Smart, Maria Perez, and Tuan Griffin. Edited by Mark Smart. Theme by Lethal Injections. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is a Letters to Media production.
Should we do an intro?